What happens when a sailor, in the middle of a Transat, has a problem with his drone? Well, Kiwi Conred Colman fixed his dilemma by using an innovative solution. It was good Kiwi problem solving.
Okay, it's draw time. 1, 2, 3, zoom. Ouais. En fait, c'est pas un drone de dessus.
Tu crois qu'ils auront compris, Conrad?
Je pense que ça pense à bien, non?
Oui, ben voilà, comme vous avez remarqué, c'était pas vraiment du drone. Le premier drone a loupé son premier atterrissage. Mais bon, on a trouvé d'autres solutions pour vous proposer les plus belles images de l'IMOCA, mailbox, etc. et mes samlines.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, November 24, 2023. For its 16th edition, the Transat Jacques Varb Normandy Le Havre has once again heading to Martinique. The Bay of Fort-de-France will welcome the arrival of the longest and most demanding duo transatlantic race, with the promise of a great spectacle. This is the latest daily report at the time of our editing. It's for November 22nd.
Que ce soit pour une voile déchirée ou une baume cassée, les avaries peuvent parfois mettre un point final à une route du café, mais certains duos ont décidé de s'arrêter pour réparer et de reprendre la mer, à l'image de Groupe Apicil. Après un stop de 36 heures à Lorient, le duo Damien Seguin et Laurent Bourguès a réalisé une remontada impressionnante et termine à la 15e place en IMOCA.
De toute façon, on n'avait pas le choix, hein. Il fallait faire cette course, fallait repartir, la terminer et on avait des beaux objectifs devant nous.
Merci aussi à toute l'équipe là, qui ont taffé comme des oufs, on les a déjà remerciés 1000 fois mais on pourra le refaire encore. Puis ouais, toute l'équipe de Guyot aussi pour cette bombe express. Voilà, on lui a laissé quand même le privilège de rester devant nous.
Pour chaque duo, arriver dans la baie de Fort-de-France, franchir la ligne, peu importe la place, est déjà une victoire.
Je crois que toute l'équipe a la larme à l'œil parce que tout le monde a énormément bossé. Nos sponsors nous ont pas lâchés malgré nos 2 dématages. Et putain, qu'est-ce que ça fait plaisir de voir ce bateau de l'autre côté.
Et si les bateaux peuvent souffrir, les corps des marins, eux, subissent.
En fait, le bateau, quand il tape, c'est-à-dire toutes les 10 secondes, tombe de haut, en fait, il tombe de 3-4 mètres, quoi. Et donc, on est assis sur un truc dur et on se cogne tout le temps. Déjà, ça tasse le dos, et puis on se cogne sur le côté. Il suffit que tu aies la tête un peu tournée, parce que tu regardes un truc crack, ça te fait un truc là.
On s'est
t'as l'impression que t'as les vertèbres qui pètent.
On s'est dit qu'on la prochaine fois on mettrait les casques pour les passages de fond comme ça.
Ça claque les dents.
À quelques heures de l'arrivée des classes 40, l'étau se resserre. Verdict ce soir dans la baie de Fort-de-France pour connaître enfin le vainqueur de cette catégorie.
We recap from the Star Sailors League Gold Cup finals in Gran Canaria. There were 10 teams qualifying from the 32 race finals and 6 new teams joining the competition. The 16 race finals were always going to be exciting and intense. Little did we know just how much drama would unfold over the 4 days. 14 races were sailed in total, with the Golden Double Points, Super Sunday, hampered by a lack of wind until the afternoon, resulting in 2 fleets being unable to race on the final day due to the 4 p.m. start time cutoff. Some of the tightest racing was seen in Fleet 1, where Chile, Malaysia and Estonia finished on equal points while Austria were only 2 points behind.
It was another exciting round as we end the 16th of the finals of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series. 10 teams from the first round managed to pass and battle against the 6 new teams that were already qualified. Each subsequent round, half of the teams will go home until we are left with the crowning of the first ever Nations World Champion. In this round, we saw more aggressivity from all teams, not hesitating to shut the door on the starts. Teams having to go around and take portside starts, the pin boat narrowly escaping getting cut in half. Massive gains and losses, jibing battles and photo finishes. This round had it all. In Fleet 1, after 3 races, there was an unbelievable 3-way tie between Chile, Malaysia, and Estonia. All 3 teams had 8 points. Austria, not far behind, was trailing with 6 points. Chile is the first of the 3 teams tied, thanks to their first win and 1 second place. Malaysia is second of the 3 tied teams, thanks to her aggressive starts with her 1 win and 2 third-place finishes. Estonia is the third of the 3 tied teams with her 1 second place and 2 third places. Austria is fourth, even though they won a race, but their 2 fourth places meant that they put in only 6 points on the leaderboard. In Fleet 2, we saw Hungary pass on to the next round, putting a decisive lead on the finishing boat and securing their lead. Tahiti also moves on to the next round. They came into this 4th and last race as the overall winners, winning 6 of the 7 races they sailed. They had a hard time coping with the pressure and spent most of the last race in last place. In the end, managing to get it back together and climb back up to 3rd place, securing their spot into the next round. Finland sailed well, but it was too little too late. They finished 2nd, but it wasn't enough to go on. Bermuda finished last on the final day, and they too are going home. In Fleet 3, Portugal was behind the entire 4th race until they made the remontada of the day, coming back from 500 meters behind, and in last place they found some wind and managed to come back and win the Golden Day, giving them 8 points and allowing them to go through to the next round. The Republic of South Africa finished 3rd and benefited from the Croatian team's 4th place to be able to climb onto the podium, and they too are going on to the next round. Antigua and Barbuda, even though they sailed well and led the whole race until the last 100 meters, didn't have enough points to go through to the next round. Croatia came into the last race as the fleet's leaders, but they finished last, and they too are not going on to the next round. Fleet 4 wasn't able to sail the 4th race, so the teams qualified were based on the scores of the first 3 days. Lithuania and Slovenia both pass on to the next round as Canada and Japan are going home. So the 8 teams that have now qualified to go to the 8th of the finals are Team Hungary, Malaysia, Lithuania, Tahiti, Republic of South Africa, Chile, Slovenia, and Portugal. Those teams will be facing the USA, Argentina, Poland, Brazil, Switzerland, Norway, Sweden, and France.
We are Sailing Only Media. Please subscribe, share, like, and check the alerts bell. As the hours pass, the IMOCA's moored at the Fort-de-France quay. The sailors disembarked, leaving room for their technical teams, who take control of the 60 feet, check and repair everything in preparation for the departure of the return to base in France for some, and delivery for others.
On commence à faire le check du bateau. Donc on fait tout le tour de toute la structure du bateau et on inspecte, on fait un peu de tapping, on fait un peu d'ultrasons et pour savoir dans quel état est le bateau. On envoie un écho, on écoute comment ça ressort de l'autre côté et ça fait pas le même bruit si on est sur une matière en fait qui est dense ou s'il y a une bulle d'air en fait derrière.
On compte à peu près une journée à deux pour tout faire, tout le bateau.
J'ai checké la mare et tout pour voir si tout va bien. C'est plutôt positif. Hein.
Alors je suis pas encore allé à l'intérieur. Ouais, ça sent l'homme quoi. Voilà, nettoyage, les cirés là on fait prendre l'air et puis ça va partir en nettoyage.
Straight away we had some sail issues first night and then quite a lot of rope chafe problems and running rigging where we sort of uploaded, but obviously upgraded the boat with foils and stuff. So.
La job list, il reste quelques points parce que les différents fronts passés, il y a quand même eu un petit peu de dégâts, mais sinon la job list est relativement claire.
Corentin et Benjamin.
Je vérifier un certain nombre de points dans le bateau, dont entre autres des plombs sur du matériel qui doit être déplacé.
On va faire le ménage quoi.
Premièrement, on sort les poubelles, etc. Après, c'est chiffon avec un petit peu d'eau et puis on passe tout le bateau au crible.
On a eu pas mal de casse quand même, mais on a réussi, on avait tous les ingrédients à bord pour concocter à chaque fois une petit mélange magique qui faisait qu'on arrivait à tout réparer. On avait déjà qui est arrivé des voiles de convoyage qui arrivent par conteneur et sinon tant pis on rentrera au ralenti. Hein.
Effectivement c'est le Black Friday chez North cette année.
The Sydney to Auckland Ocean Race 2025 is called, rightly so, the race of a lifetime. The principal organising club, the Sydney Pittwater-based Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club, together with Auckland's Royal Akarana Yacht Club, invite competitors to participate in the Sydney to Auckland Ocean Race 2025, starting on 11th of October. A dramatic and compelling ocean racecourse has been shoehorned into the start of next year's busy spring-summer sailing season. The race will start in Sydney Harbour on the 11th of October, 2025 and finish in Auckland Harbour. This challenging Trans-Tasman 1,250 nautical mile, Category 1 race, is open to offshore cruising and racing yachts, two-handed yachts, super yachts and ocean racing multi-hulls. The Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club's Robert McClelland explains the race's communications have been simplified. For the 1,250 nautical mile race, satellite phones, AIS, and trackers will be on each boat. There are no time-consuming skeds. This follows the club's successful Pittwater to Coffs Harbour Yacht Race, which is run on the same basis. The other joy for competitors is that the Sydney to Auckland into New Zealand Ocean Race has been timed to allow prospective competitors to compete on the Northern Circuit in Queensland beforehand and to be back in Australia in time for the Rolex Sydney Hobart and Melbourne to Hobart yacht races. Alternatively, entrants can stay on in New Zealand and take advantage of the famous Coastal Classic, which is held in late October. There is also the Bay of Islands Sailing Week in late January 2024 to consider, not to mention the New Zealand scenic cruising opportunities. The Sydney to Auckland Ocean Race is open to fully crewed racing and cruising yachts, two-handed yachts, super yachts, and ocean-going multi-hulls. It is the longest race. Originating from Australia, twice as long as the Rolex Sydney Hobart, and it is open to a variety of yacht classes. Standard entries for the Category 1, Sydney to Auckland, Ocean Race, to be held by the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club in association with the Royal Akarana Yacht Club in New Zealand, close on the 11th of September, 2024. The Royal Akarana Yacht Club is one of New Zealand's oldest yacht clubs, and occupies a unique place in this country's recreational sailing history. Throughout its 127 years, it has been at the forefront of New Zealand yachting, and particularly in its early years, had a huge influence on the way the sport developed in that country. And it was their off to the land down under for the Clipper Race fleet. The race for Marlow Roaring Forties Challenge is underway after a heated race start in Cape Town. The fleet is making its way through the Roaring Forties and already encountering some pretty wet and stormy conditions. It's a 3.5-week race, and who knows what's going to happen.
It's departure day, we're all
Southern
getting ready to
Ocean,
leave and
here
head
they
to
come.
Australia. We're excited, super excited to be getting out sailing again.
Off to Australia, so yeah, pretty exciting. Got a wee jacket to keep her warm. Could be cold.
Well, we're about to slip the line to start leg 3, race 4. It's very exciting. Little butterfly in the stomach.
Victor 3-1, slip your lines, slip your lines.
Goodbye, everyone! Goodbye!
Interesting start. We decided to go on a port tack when the rest of the fleet were on a starboard, and it was quite a short line. That was one of those ones I think I probably got a few more grey hairs out of that.
A little bit hectic, a little bit chaotic, but now the fleet's just slightly further apart, so it's a lot more comfortable, and we're very happy with where we are.
Very happy.
Very happy.
Well, let's go, let's do this. I mean, it's 3.5 weeks and who knows what's going to happen, but we're all excited, we're all pumped, and yeah, bring it on.
British Ocean sailor Pip Hare will compete in this year's Transat Jacques Varb with fellow East Coast sailor and mini Transat veteran Nick Bubb. This will be the first race for the newly refitted Medallia as Pip begins her preparation for the 2024 Vendée Globe race, the non-stop solo circumnavigation. Nick Bubb brings competitive and technical experience across a range of boats and classes both on and off the water. Like Pip, Nick grew up sailing on the River Devon in Suffolk and cut his teeth in the Mini Transat class, achieving multiple podiums in the class.
Monsieur, vous avez fait 200 000 vues sur les IMOCA, qu'il faut se la ramener. Très gentil. On respecte le français un peu. On respecte. Et oui, je suis gentil. Olé! Olé! Olé!
direct sur le Facebook Live de la Transat Jacques Vabre Normandie Le Havre. On assiste à l'arrivée donc du bateau Médalia, le bateau de l'équipe Air et Nicole qui viennent d'arriver. Ils ont franchi la ligne il y a quelques minutes de ça, à 22h12 et 56 secondes. Et ils vont venir nous rejoindre ici dans quelques instants une fois que le bateau aura été sécurisé. Bien sûr, on va laisser les équipes procéder à cela. Applaudissements s'il vous plaît pour Peter et Nicole. Congratulations first with the president. Enfin, le directeur de la Transat l'association Martinique Transat pour mettre le coco, on va mettre les fruits, bien sûr, dans quelques secondes, les fruits qui sont là. Voilà, on essaie de se faire de la direction course, accompagné par Damien de Longueville, président de l'association Martinique Transat. Lui remettre les fruits. Et un maximum de bruit s'il vous plaît pour Médalia. Écoutez peut-être vos échanges avec les représentants de la presse qui sont là avec vous. La presse.
Andy?
So 12th in the route drum, 12th in the Transat Jacques Vabre.
It's not my number. I'm not sticking with that. Don't think that's on my number.
No, but you must be happy. You achieved your objectives, eh?
Oh, really happy. I think if you'd have told me 12th at the beginning of this race, I would have been really surprised. But, it was tough. It was tough because it's the first time across the Atlantic with the big foils. We haven't had that long to work them up. So, I kind of was juggling these objectives of wanting to know how the boat felt to push, but also wanting to preserve it as well. In the end, kind of the little horns came out, and it's quite fun to go fast. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I think we pushed hard and we had a good race, and this is only the beginning.
A little bit of damage to the mainsail, I believe.
Yes, yeah. On the first night, just before that first front, yeah. So we've not been able to use reef 1 at all for the whole race, which has been challenging at times, but might have possibly led to a top speed.
What did you learn about the boat in terms of its performance?
36 knots, that'll do. And I mean, it nosedives a lot. We need to change some things about that next year. I mean, like I said, I think this is just the start. It is fast, it's weapon fast, it's also brutal. I don't think I've ever been as covered in bruises as I am now. But yeah, it's a whole new level, and I'm really, really proud of my team and the work that they've done this year to make this boat latest generation, because I think it's really worked.
How was Nick?
Ask Nick.
Yeah, I guess just to echo a lot of those comments, but for me, I was ready for the sort of physicality of it, but mentally it was hugely challenging. Obviously, pit super competitive, but we're trying to get here as the first objective, so trying to find that balance of pushing hard but looking after the boat was really difficult. And then when we didn't have reef 1, we're kind of constantly either kind of overpowered with full main or kind of with 2 reefs, which felt slow. So it just really kind of mentally it was really challenging to try and manage those objectives, but a lot of fun. I mean, for me, just fabulous to do a transatlantic on a boat like this, and to see how quickly it switches on. I think that's the amazing thing. We can be doing kind of 10 knots 1 minute, and the next thing you're just over 30, and then in the back of a wave you sort of peel your face off the bulkhead, and then you're off again at 30 knots again. It's really incredible.
What about the prospect of going solo in 10 days' time?
Bring it on.
Really? I mean, You're ready for it.
Yeah, I mean this was ideal, absolutely ideal to be able to come across this way with Nick's support and have somebody else there, you know, to feel that. And now I know what it feels like, having had that security, I can have a go at doing it on my own.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good, thanks.
Cheers.
Super.